We went to Lebanon to do shows for charity. We worked with Awkward Comedy, which is probably the most respected comedy production company in the Middle East. And we raised a little bit of money for Doctors Without Borders, Palestinian Children Relief Fund, and Red Cross Lebanon.
Before we start the show, I have some rules, and I would recommend you as a country to also pick up this idea.
Lebanon is a beautiful chaos.
It's really nice, but my God, things don't make sense.
So there's battery, there's generator, and then there's government supply.
Yes.
And the government supply turns off.
At some point, yes.
Yes. Okay, that's good to know.
We're in the middle of the road because there's no sidewalk.
Yeah, that's true.
It's good and bad, but it's great. It's mostly great. I love the country because it allows me to always fight to be myself, to survive out of everything. And at the same time, this is why Lebanon hurts me. I want to live a life where I'm not thinking about when the electricity will cut, if there's security or not, if I will have water or not. Like, you know, in Lebanon, we still hire someone to fill up our water tanks for the house.
I've been warned by everybody as a European, I'm too weak for the water. Here, the wives are strong, the water is tough, and I am the weak link.
Houses don't have numbers. So there's a street, and then the way that you know the house is it's by the shop that sells bananas.
Maybe it would be a good idea to try to make all of the sockets the same.
I think the conflicts in the Middle East have skewed people's perspective on who is actually suffering from all of these events, which is the normal people, the civilians, the people who are basically caught within these conflicts.
So we got economic crisis, corona, explosion.
Damn.
And then war.
I think a lot of people have never met Lebanese people, or Palestinians for that matter, because of the way that they're portrayed in the media. You might go with preconceptions like, what could they be thinking? What could they be believing in? And you go there and you're like, oh, they're lovely people.
Is there a majority ethnicity here in Lebanon?
No. We have a very big identity crisis in Lebanon.
So what you need to know is that this country went through a 15-year civil war from 75 to 1990.
People, they belong to their sect before belonging to the country.
Every town belongs to a religion. This is in a Christian area. This is a Muslim area.
And this is why there was a civil war in Lebanon.
Even the Christians were fighting each other. Most of the Christians hate each other.
And it's still the problem here after all those years.
Like, I've been trying to do a reading about the wars here, and in the last 50 years, you need to calm down. Like, I can't keep up.
Lately, Christians accepted that they were Arabs. But they used to say, no, we're Phoenicians, we're not part of the Arab. And they started going into a direction where we started having more of an identity as Lebanese people.
Is Israel, in a way, what unites all those sects?
At some point, yes and no. Some people think that Israel will not bomb us. Oh no, we're safe here. You're in a safe area.
The common enemy helped actually in figuring out our identity. This is how now we are coping with this, because we know that the common enemy is Israel.
Mm-hmm. Man, right now the fucking Israelis, they bombed the country twice today. They assassinated someone and then they did their raid in the south. You're not even aware of this, but you're here. This has been happening on the daily ever since the ceasefire.
What about the Palestinians? What do you guys say about the Palestinians? They're generous. Well, don't tell that to the Israelis. That's why they go like, the Palestinians are generous, let's take more. They are stingy. Who's stingy? The Israelis. But they're giving you so many bombs. They're so generous with the explosions, right?
Is there a lot of anger here?
Yes, definitely. But there's anger for the right reasons, by the way.
Of course, yeah. Then there's anger directed towards money.
It doesn't have to be directed towards anything. It exists. But at the same time, there's humor. We cope by humor.
You're Syrian? Oh. Proudly married to a Lebanese. Tell us about yourself. What's your profession? You're a United Nations staff member, so you do nothing. Of course. Very nice. Drinking coffee, having meetings. That's very nice. So, do you know what the locals say about you, guys? About the Syrians? They love us. That's fine. You see? You see, we didn't even have to do a joke and people were like, that's not true. You know, I came from Turkey. They love you there too.
How would you describe their spirit?
And resilience. Within the chaos, they're still smiling. They're still kind. They're still beautiful people.
It's not a good thing always. Like you accept hard truths and hard reality and you don't always strive for a better future. But that's what's good. So we have a strong coping mechanism and I think this is why stand-up comedy in Lebanon worked very well because I think all Lebanese people have humor as a coping mechanism.
I immigrated to Canada with my mom and siblings. My dad didn't travel with us. He couldn't leave Lebanon. My dad is one of those men who are like really attached to the land, specifically since his funeral. I don't think that anger is the emotion that is the most present while I'm talking about that. It's more dealing with grief. So maybe it's more like sadness or longing or wanting someone that you cannot access anymore.
Sometimes I don't just watch stand-up, I watch people watching stand-up to see how they're letting go of the negative thoughts and the negativity of this life. So
Feels like humor and laughter is more of a necessity here than in other places. The audiences have been incredible, like loud and fun and really cool.
Who's American? What's your name? The American is already confused. You're raised in Lebanon. So how do you identify? Do you identify as American? Do you identify as Lebanese? You identify as Lebanese. Okay, so what makes you American? Did you hear? That's just the women. The passport. Huh? You pay taxes in America? Oh wow, do you know that that tax money is bombing this country? And how does that make you feel? Not great. Not great. Which is your favorite conflict? That your tax money is paying for right now. Tell me about America. What do you think we get wrong? What do you think I get wrong?
I don't know, what do you think about that?
What do I think? Nazis. Full-blown Nazis, declining empire, racist, uneducated, fat, stupid, meddling in other people's elections, meddling in other people's governments. School shooting, see? Everybody's taking part in the show.
I'm waiting for you to say something wrong.
You're waiting for... Oh, it's a good American, isn't it? Good for you.
Are you optimistic about the future? Yeah. I don't know. They're still bombing every day. Every day there's someone who's assassinated somewhere. The Israeli army is still stationed in the south. And we are still at war. But there's a bit of stability right now, and I think that you can't stay in Lebanon for a very long while, honestly. But when you go out, you miss it.
yeah, exactly.
And you want to come
I
back.
wanted to say that it's so weird. Like, I will never be alive to see the changes that I would want to see in this country because I feel like it takes a very long time in order to change the smallest things. But I would still want to be here. Why? No one asked, but I will tell you because I'm not someone who travels a lot, but every time I travel, I feel like, oh, I'm so happy in this new place. But at the same time, I want to go back to the chaos that I'm used to and to the people that we're used to. So, yeah.
Do you see your future here in Lebanon?
Yeah. With all its chaos. We have this discussion, my wife and I. We want to stay, we want to go, like everybody goes to Canada. Sling. Do I see a future in Lebanon? I want to have a future in Lebanon, but is it guaranteed? I don't know.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
I didn't know exactly what to expect before going, but actually seeing it and meeting the people has really humanized my vague idea of what I thought Lebanon would be. The people make the country. Very kind, very excited, very curious, very sweet people.